Hubbard really drifted after dropping out of university. He was unsure of what to do with his life, and I think he found himself when he started writing science fiction. That was it was a moment when science fiction was becoming extremely popular. He had a great imagination, he had lots of ideas, great flair, these interplanetary galactic wars and all the pre-Star Wars stuff, really. He was L Ron Hubbard, the well-known science fiction writer. Come the war, he enlisted in the United States Navy, and this is where Hubbard's story and the real story of L Ron Hubbard's activities diverges in an extraordinary way. I mean, there is no similarity between the two. The story was that Hubbard was constantly in combat. He was wounded many times. He got up to all kinds of adventures behind the lines. The reality was that he was a disaster as an officer. I got his record from the Freedom of Information Act. The record gives chapter and verse on every single moment of his naval career in great, great detail. His reports were, this officer is unsuitable for command right now. He was admonished for this and that and the other.
By 1944, the cumulative injuries he suffered in combat had taken their toll. Lame from a Nazi torpedo and partially blind from the flash of a ship's gun, he was transferred to Oak Knoll Naval Hospital at war's end.
He said he'd been nearly blinded because some artillery fire had gone off right next to his face and he could hardly see. None of it was true. And another one, he was injured in the leg, and subsequently he obviously kept little bits of shrapnel in his pocket, and he'd sort of walk out of a room and drop a bit and explain that, oh, shrapnel keeps working its way out. I've been hit so many times, shrapnel keeps working its way out of my body. And
I forgot about that.
But it was a lie.
He writes about this. He writes about being in fantastic battles, of which he was greatly injured. And he talks about curing himself.
Yes.
By 1948, through my own processing and use of the principles I had isolated up to that time, was able to pass a 100% combat physical, which was very mysterious to the government. How had I suddenly become completely physically well from being blind and lame?